Hi, I'm Brad Sweezy, president of Sweezy Travel, and today I want to talk to you about 3 reasons to cruise solo. And by solo, I mean you go on the cruise by yourself. I recently had my first experience doing that, and I have to say I came away pleasantly surprised and enjoyed it much more than I thought I would, and it's actually one of the more fun cruise experiences I've had. And I've had a lot of them, but this one was pretty good too. So let's look into it. We'll go over the 3 reasons to cruise. This is a group, the picture is a group of people that I ended up, you know, generally eating dinner with every night and did some things with, we did some excursions together on occasion. So I didn't know any of these people at the beginning of the cruise, and I consider a lot of them great friends after the cruise. First reason is 100% control of what you do and when you do it. The second thing is you meet people you wouldn't normally meet in your everyday life. And the third reason, you might be dealing with the loss of a loved one or a relationship. So let's look at it all one by one. 100% control of what you do and when you do it. Everybody who's traveled with others knows it can be challenging, especially if you travel with big groups of people, right? The more people you have, the more variables that can mess everyone's happiness up. You want to do X, they want to do Y, etc. And usually most of the time you end up compromising, at least some of the time you do it. The other thing is when to do things. You might be a morning person. You might want to go into town because the ship's there in the morning. The person you're with might want to do it in the afternoon. So what do? You compromise. You do it when you're by yourself, when you want to do it with no worries if anybody's unhappy. The only person you have to blame if you're unhappy is yourself. Dining can always be a challenge. Not everybody has the same food interest, etc. Some people are foodies, some people aren't. You might want to try a specialty restaurant, for example, and the other person doesn't like that type of food. So what do? Either one person's unhappy going to the specialty dining and one person's really happy, or you just don't go. And in that case, you might not be happy about that. The other reason is you meet people you wouldn't normally meet. Let's face it, most of us, if traveled on cruises, you go with someone, and that in itself is a very pleasurable experience. I enjoyed every cruise, I've taken with someone, every one of them. So, but what happens is you tend to socialize with the same type of people you would associate with at home. That's what happens. We are tribal creatures, so to speak, and we just find the people who are a lot like us, and then we go somewhere else and we meet them and we then socialize with them. Or you do everything as a couple. You go to eat alone, you go explore alone, and those kind of things. And both of those are okay, right? But you don't get the cross-pollination that you would get when you force yourself to meet people you wouldn't normally meet. And I'm talking all kind of factors. Age is one of them as well. So many of them have a solo social hour meetup or whatever you want to call it, and you get together, and the first one's always awkward because you don't know anybody, right? There might be 20 people there might be 50 people, you don't know anyone. So if you're an introvert, that might be a little bit of a challenge, but if you go there, there'll be somebody who's an extrovert like me who will end up talking to you. So you'll meet people. In the first night, you might go to dinner. There might be a group of people goes to dinner, and you'll be sat at a table with a bunch of people. And it just so happened the group of people that I sat with at the first dinner were a group of people, and most of them we end up hanging out the entire time, and then some other people joined us as you meet them in the other meetups. So you're going to meet people you wouldn't normally meet from all over the country, all over the world, and a lot of those are going to turn into great relationships and great friendships. The other thing is you're going to do some things together and other things by yourself. Like, for example, in San Juan, most of us did our own things. Some people did excursions. I explored old San Juan by myself, so did other people. And then what we did is we got together around lunchtime or thereafter at a nice Puerto Rican restaurant and had a great time. And then we walked back and did some exploring together and had dinner together. So these are the things you do as traveling solo. And I talked to this before. You're probably going to make some lifelong friends and potential travel partners. Let's face it, people who are going on the cruise like to travel, right? They like to explore the world. So you have that commonality, and it doesn't matter where you are. The people I generally hung out with were from all parts of the country. You know, yeah, California, New York, Virginia, Alabama, Colorado, Canada, those types of things. So it really is a way to really open up your experience of the world and meet interesting people. The final reason is not as exciting, obviously, but everybody has loss in their lives at some point. And one of the reasons that you go on a cruise and travel is because you've lost a loved one, or maybe a relationship has ended, a long-term relationship you had. Either way, staying at home is not necessarily always the best thing to do. You need to escape and you need to get some perspective. And cruising solo allows you to do that. This shot was taken at sunset on top of St. Thomas. After you take that, can't think of the cable car up, and there's a nice restaurant up there. And I was there with a group of people, but this shot to me symbolizes someone passing away, something's ending. So you go on a trip and you do that. You can grieve if you want by yourself, and you'll do that probably at points in time during the cruise. But you'll also keep yourself busy with fun experiences and new people. And those people have had their own experiences in life and maybe have gone through something similar to you. And that in turn is a kind of therapy, at least to me. So finally, I want to talk to you about basically just a free solo cruise vacation exploration call. There's no obligation. I found that the best way is to, have a phone call, but I also know a lot of people do instant messaging and text and all those kind of things and email. It doesn't matter. The important thing is you have a dialogue, and then you put my experience to work, not only on a solo cruise, but on all types of cruises around the world. So I can help you choose something that might suit you well. You might not like this ship because you're not that type of person, but you might like that ship. So those are the things that I can do to help you. So if you want to have that call, you can always visit freecallwithbrad.com and you schedule an appointment. You can email me at brad@sweezytravel.com. You can call me or text me at 941-564-9163. And you can go to our website and reach me there. One way or another, you will definitely find a way to contact me, and we'll go from there. And that's it. I mean, if you like to do something, you'll do it. And if you don't, you don't. But at least you'll get a little bit more clarity on what's involved in a solo cruise vacation. Thanks, and have a good day. Happy cruising.